Hello, this is News Plus on Viewer Television. I am Chinonso Chekwas. The Central Bank of Nigeria has injected $500 million into the foreign exchange market, as revealed by Hakami Sidi Ali, the acting director of the Corporate Communications Department at the CBN. Sidi Ali emphasized the CBN's dedication to promptly addressing all legitimate foreign exchange backlogs. She assured the public that the CBN is implementing a comprehensive strategy aimed at enhancing liquidity in the Nigerian forex markets across short, medium, and long-term timelines. The stated strategy, according to Sidi Ali, is designed to tackle fundamental issues that have impeded the effective functioning of the Nigerian forex markets over the years. The reforms in the forex market aim to streamline and unify multiple exchange rates, promote transparency, and diminish arbitrage opportunities. Expressing confidence in the initiative, Sidi Ali highlighted that a stable exchange rate would contribute to increased investor confidence and foster the attraction of foreign investment. And in a recent operation, the Nigerian Air Force successfully eradicated the terrorist syndicate operating along the Kwiga-Kampamin-Doka axis in the Birnin-Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. Air Vice Marshal Edward Gabwet, the spokesperson for the Air Force, revealed this information in an official statement. The operation was a part of the Air Force's ongoing commitment to eliminate the threat of terrorism and kidnapping in the northwest and north-central regions of Nigeria. The decision to conduct the strike was based on intelligence reports indicating the movement of the syndicate in the Kwiga-Kampamin-Doka axis of Birnin-Gwari local government, Kaduna State. The same intelligence also linked the syndicate to the ambush on troops at Kwanan Mutua on January 27, 2024, as well as multiple attacks and abductions of innocent civilians in Birnin-Gwari. Following the intel, the terrorists were tracked to a specific location where they had gathered. The Air Force operatives executed a precision strike, engaging and neutralizing the syndicate to ensure the safety and security of the region. And still in insurgency, a yet-to-be-confirmed number of soldiers have been killed by improvised explosive devices during an ambush by militants from the Islamic State-backed faction of Boko Haram, the Islamic State West African Province, ISWAP, formerly known as Jamaat al-Asuna Jidawa wal-Jahab in Borno State. Multiple military sources that the attack took place along Fulka and Bama Road on some civilians, including a pregnant woman using the road, were also killed when their vehicles also stopped over the planted IEDs. Improvised explosive devices and ambushes have continued to pose a major threat to soldiers fighting Boko Haram and ISWAP in northern Nigeria. And at the moment, many soldiers and civilians who stepped on IEDs planted by Boko Haram have been killed along Fulka and Bama Road, one of the military sources told newsmen. Still in Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum has said he will get rid of terrorism in the state before the end of his administration. He stressed that insecurity has denied economic development in the northern region of Nigeria, hence the need for collaboration to tackle the root causes of the menace. And Beatrice Kurutsi has more.
Northern region and other parts of Nigeria has been taken over by terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers. This has affected economic and infrastructure development. The 10th Sir Amadou Bello Memorial Lecture provide a platform for stakeholders to recommend solutions. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Zulum said the root causes of insecurity can be tackled with crusade against corruption, improved funding for education, job creation, and security synergy with traditional leaders, as well as investing in agriculture. The position corroborated by other stakeholders from the north.
Road infrastructure is key. Job creation is key. When we are speaking about education, there's one very important thing that we need to understand, which is education that can create wealth. Education that can create employment. technical and vocational education. We have two major problems in our educational sector. One, the mismatch between our graduates and the labor market.
Modernizing agriculture. Modernizing agriculture is extremely critical because not only of food security and the issue of sovereignty, you can never be free where somebody is giving you food. Building the civil service, including the judiciary, and being open to the world is number 5. Number 6 is creating credible media to support the above objectives.
We have abjugated our responsibilities as agrarian people and waiting for handouts from federal government. This narrative must change. And that is the way to tackle banditry, insurgency through good governance.
First, we must strengthen the institution of governance and uphold the rule of law. This requires concerted effort to combat corruption, promote transparency, and ensure that we do not radicalize our people unnecessarily.
We recall that President Tinubu stated that securing the country is the first priority of this administration. This commitment has been demonstrated by the allocation of the largest share of this year's budget to the security sector. Still, we are aware that force alone is insufficient to put an end to multiple threats which Nigerians face. Please allow me to state that there is no truth in suggestions that the federal government plans to relocate agencies and institutions of government out of Abuja, beyond affecting administrative changes that will not disadvantage any part of this country.
It is expected that government will implement recommendations and suggestions in order to restore peace in the region.
And the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has issued a stern warning against importation of syringes from foreign countries. And this is according to a statement signed by NAFDAC's Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, and made available to newsmen in Abuja on Sunday, saying the act may kill local pharmaceutical industries. She advised members of the new executive of the Association of Nigerian Licensed Customs Agents who were on a courtesy visit to her office at Lagos to think more of the interest of the country above personal interest as a clearing agent in the nation's ports. She also enjoined the agents to join forces with NAFDAC to end the rejection of Nigerian food exportation to the European Union, United States, and other Western countries. The NAFDAC boss also narrated how she marveled at the stupendous investments committed to local production of syringes in Nigeria by a local pharmaceutical company during a recent facility tour. And it's time now for a quick break. There's more when News Plus returns. To stay with us.
game of polo, it's my life. Polo is good. Though I just started and I'm still learning the basics. But I hope to be a pro in this game, and God being by my side, I know everything will be fine. I started 4 months ago. I started stick and ball 4 months ago, though I attended the riding course in Pakistan. I've learned the riding basics, but the game of polo 4 months ago, I started stick and ball. Every day we mount on the horse, we pray. And once we come down, as you can see, I was about ending and I fell from the horse. It's a normal thing. In horse riding, if you don't fall, you've not started yet. So you need to train. You can see I'm sweating, I'm eating banana, it's part of it. You must train, you must eat well, and you must learn properly. I've chosen polo to be my own sport, and I've always looked up to people like General Kazir Faya, General MSA Aliu, Colonel Y. Bello, and General Laka. A few of them, I've looked up to these people. These are great polo players, and they've always encouraged me to play the game of polo.
Many thanks for staying with us. You're still watching News Plus on Viewer Television. And the Nigerian Bar Association has filed a lawsuit against the Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, and record label executive Kenny Ogungbe, challenging the validity of their National Youth Service Corps certificates. The NBA's petition asserts that the NYSC certificates purportedly issued to both individuals are null and void. The plaintiffs in the lawsuit are John Akpoku Martins, chairman of NBA Speedel, and Funmi Adeogun, secretary of the NBA Speedel. The legal action opposes the mobilization of Musawa and Ogungbe for the mandatory one-year National Youth Service, urging that their mobilization, having exceeded the age of 30, is deemed unlawful, illegal, and contrary to the principles of patriotism in Nigeria. And operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command have rescued 5 kidnapped victims from 2 different gangs of kidnappers in Abuja. The FCT Special Intervention Squad, in collaboration with the FCT Police Anti-Kidnapping Unit, rescued the 5 abductees. And this was disclosed by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, SP Josephine Ade, during a press conference at the command headquarters. And according to her, on January 27th at about 11:30 p.m., a distress call was received at Ido Division that sounds of gunshots were heard around Sabon Lugbe axis. A police patrol team was drafted to the scene, where one Blessing Eze, a female, was met with a bullet wound on her shoulder inside a Toyota Corolla car with RSH 724KC, black in color. And elsewhere, 3 victims, namely one Igodi Emeka, a male, Precious Uche, a female, and Eric Chukudi, also a male, were also rescued from their captors unhurt. The Federal High Court has scheduled February 8, 2024 as the continuation date for the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The Supreme Court had previously transferred Kanu's case back to the Federal High Court for the resumption of the trial. This decision came after the Apex Court overturned the appeal court ruling that had discharged and acquitted Kanu of all terrorism charges. Nnamdi Kanu's special counsel, Aloy Ejimako, announced the new trial date following his regular meeting with the IPOB leader at the Department of State Services facility in Abuja. Ejimako expressed confidence that there will be no further changes, particularly regarding the fixed date, and shared that assurances on his social media platform. And on election matters, Kano State Governor Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf has refuted any claims of entering into an agreement with the presidency before the January 12, 2024 Supreme Court judgment on the contested Kano governorship election, which affirmed his victory. Following the Supreme Court's declaration of Governor Yusuf as the legitimate winner, a circulating document on social media suggested an alleged agreement between the governor and the presidency as a precondition for his legal triumph. In response, the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Baturi Dawakintofa, dismissed the document as a product of imagination, completely lacking in truth. And Governor Yusuf expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for ensuring a fair and impartial judicial process without interference. He commended the president for exhibiting profound leadership qualities by upholding principles of justice, even in the face of pressure from undemocratic elements in Kano State and beyond. And primary school educators in Abuja have resumed their duties, marking the end of their work stoppage thanks to the intervention of FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The educators had initiated an indefinite strike to advocate for the implementation of a 40% peculiar allowance and the settlement of 25 months' worth of minimum wage arrears, among other outstanding payments. Margaret Jethro, the secretary of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, the FCT chapter, shared this information during an interview with journalists in Abuja. Ms. Jethro clarified that the suspension of the strike, effective from Monday, was as a result of Mr. Wike's involvement in resolving a portion of the minimum wage arrears owed to the teachers. And according to her explanation, Wike committed to addressing 40% of the total minimum wage arrears exceeded 7 billion naira, while the remaining 60% will be handled by the area councils. It's worth recalling that Wike had assured that the deduction of the 40% minimum wage arrears will commence in January, with the area councils also making their deductions over the subsequent 3 months. And now on the international scene, a drone attack on a base in Jordan has killed 3 American troops, with President Joe Biden blaming Iraq-backed militants for the first U.S. military deaths in the region since the Israel-Hamas war began. Iran said it had nothing to do with the attack and denied U.S. and British accusations that it supported militant groups responsible for the strike on the remote frontier base in Jordan's northeast near the borders with Iraq and Syria. Biden later held a moment of silence at a South Carolina church banquet hall for the U.S. troops killed in the attack. With the region already tense as fighting rages in Gaza, the strike also raises fears of a broader conflict directly involving Tehran. There has so far been no claim of responsibility for the strike, but British Foreign Secretary David Cameron reiterated a call for Iran to de-escalate in the region. He also condemned the attack by Iran allied militia groups in a post on social media platform.
An attack on one of our bases.
Yes.
And I'd ask you for a moment of silence for all 3 of those fallen soldiers.
Jesus.
And we shall respond.
And about 7 people were killed in Brazil's southeast Minas Gerais state, where the small plane they were traveling in crashed, authorities have disclosed. After leaving Campinas in neighboring Sao Paulo state, the single-engine plane apparently broke up mid-air and crashed at around 10:30 a.m. in the mining town of Itapeva. Firefighters also disclosed. The firefighters found 7 dead victims who were on board the aircraft, the department said in updated statement. It had announced earlier that 3 bodies had been found. Images taken by locals, which show the wreckage of the plane shortly after falling on the side of a hill covered with grass and trees, circulated on social networks and Brazilian media. Pope Francis has emphasized the unique circumstances of the Church in Africa concerning the proposed extra-liturgical blessings for same-sex couples. In an interview with the Italian newspaper La Stampa, he acknowledged that from a cultural standpoint, homosexuality is perceived as ugly in African societies. The Pope addressed concerns raised against the declaration Fiduciis Supplicans, a document he supports, which introduces the possibility of blessing couples in irregular situations within the Catholic Church, such as unmarried couples, divorced and remarried couples, and same-sex couples. In response to criticisms, Pope Francis pointed out that those vehemently opposing the document belong to small ideological groups. The president of the African Bishops, with the Pope's approval, asserted on January 11th that the blessings from same-sex couples would not be implemented on the continent where many countries criminalize homosexuality. The bishops of Northern Africa expressed their willingness to bless individuals in irregular situations as long as the blessings do not create confusion for the parties involved or others. And British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has declared that the UK will enact legislation to prohibit disposable e-cigarettes, aiming to address the escalating issues of youth vaping. Pre-filled disposable e-cigarettes, commonly referred to as puffs, have gained popularity among young individuals due to their various flavors, affordability, and high nicotine content. The government pointed to recent statistics indicating a nearly 9-fold increase in the use of disposables among vapers under the age of 18 over the past 2 years. Additionally, Sunak's government intends to implement fines for shops in England and Wales found illegally selling vapes to children. Health experts have lauded the proposed measures, with Chief Medical Officer Chris Whitty asserting that the legislation will significantly impact public health for numerous generations to come. Mike McKean from the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health commended the initiative, describing it as a bold action.
Well, it's important that we maintain vapes for adult smokers who want to stop, because for those people, it's obviously preferable that they vape rather than smoke. That's why actually we're pioneering the Swap to Stop campaign. 1 million people are being provided with kits to help them through the NHS, and actually we're one of the first countries in the world to do a program like that. It's also why we have balanced these proposals, targeting the things that are particularly appealing to children. And that's what this is about, is protecting children's health. That's why the marketing, the flavors, the appearance, where they are displayed in stores. And what's clear is it's disposable vapes that are behind the very worrying rise in children's vaping. Children disproportionately and overwhelmingly use disposable vapes. So I think we've got the balance right. Supporting adult smokers to stop smoking with our vape kits and dedicated support for them, but targeting all the things that make sure that children shouldn't have access to vape.
And that's all on News Plus. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinonso Checkers. Please do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.